All right, can everybody hear me? All good, yeah. So, Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon and Selamat Hari Raya to those who are celebrating. So, first and foremost, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to attend and gain some insights regarding today's webinar titled Navigating Mega Project Success, Project Management Best Practice. So this webinar is supported by APTT and SMA, as well as hosted by our company, PCSS Consultancy Sdn Bhd. And just to introduce myself, my name is Muhammad Zain Sulaiman, and I am a BIM modeler from PCSS Consultancy Sdn Bhd. And I am a representative, and I will be your moderator for today. So before we start the webinar, let's just go over a few housekeeping details to ensure a smooth and engaging webinar experience for everyone. So first and foremost, please be informed that this webinar will be recorded for future viewing and to distribute to those unable to attend today. So if you miss any part of it or you want to revisit the content later, you can just visit it on our official YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe. It's if you don't know what our YouTube channel is, it's on the bottom right of the screen. Or you can just alternatively type in PCSS Consultancy. Secondly, we would like also to request that all participants to keep their microphones muted throughout the webinar. This will help to minimize any background noise and ensure that everyone can hear our speakers clearly. We highly encourage active participation from our audience. So if you have any questions, you'll have the chance to ask questions by typing them in the chat box throughout the session at the presentations. The chat box, I believe, it should be located on the right side of your screen. So yeah. However, like let's say we go over time, if time does not permit, for the additional Q&As, don't worry, our team will get back to you on your query via email. Okay, so just before we start, just a little introduction on PCSS. So PCSS, we are a premier project management solutions provider focused on enhancing organizational profits through the implementation of industry-leading practices. So with expertise spanning from project management offices or PMOs for short, we also do software training, integration, planning, team management. With all this, we want to ensure our clients to achieve sustained success in project delivery. Back with over 35 years of collective experience in project controls, we offer specialized solutions that elevate capabilities and maintain a competitive advantage. As a one-stop shop, PCSS is we're committed to meeting diverse project management needs and requirements. Okay, so if you don't know where we're located, you can find us through multiple locations around the Asia Pacific region. Namely, we have offices in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, as well as Vietnam, with our headquarters being in Malaysia, and more specifically, it's in Kuching, Sarawak, in the island of Borneo itself. Okay, so our expertise also covers specialization in digital construction. This digital construction, we encompass a few criteria such as BIM, 4D simulations, as well as optimization tools such as drones and AR and VR, just to name a few. This also emphasizes our dedication to staying technologically advanced and providing innovative solutions for the digital transformation of the construction industry throughout the region and also throughout the world. Okay, so these are a few from the many projects that we have executed on a digital platform or a digital environment. So as you can see, we've been involved in a variety of projects ranging from commercial, in residential buildings to prefabrication of modular components in the oil and gas sector. On a similar note, actually, we are also venturing in applying digital construction solutions in DFMA or design for manufacturing and assembly, as the prospect of modular construction is one that we see will contribute quite greatly to the construction industry. This is mainly due to cost savings in construction times, as the components are prefabricated on site and can be done concurrently during site activities. So similarly, and synonymous with the concept of BIM, this approach also promotes more collaboration at the early stage with stakeholders, thus leading to towards better coordination and also well-informed decisions throughout the project, and thus leading to better project outcome. So we aim to be ahead of the game, and we pride ourselves as being pioneers in project management solutions. So with the continuous growth and availability of technology that we all can see, in our current economic climate as well as the construction climate, this further aids our construction industry. We use different tools to integrate into our solutions, and these include like AR and VR, as well as reality mapping. So with this, we continuously strive to give exposure and educate both the general public as well as industry professionals, because technology is always changing. So we try to do the best we can to educate the main players in the construction industry. And we do this by giving exposure through exhibitions and events, such as the one you can see on your screen. So as mentioned before, one of our services that provide is also professional training. So this training, we also encompass digital construction solutions ranging from widely used BIM authoring tools such as Autodesk Revit, and also to planning and scheduling software such as Oracle Primavera P6, as well as Bentley Systems Synchro 4D. And also, since we are involved in a variety of projects and we also use the software firsthand, meaning to say we actively use it. So we are equipped with the knowledge to provide solutions that are both tried and tested. And it's quite, the testimonies that we receive from our clientele has always been positive as they see the value it holds in contributing to project success. So yeah. So our constant success and innovation in the industry has also merited industry recognition awards from numerous organizations and bodies. The awards that we receive, which represent the trust and belief of industry professionals with our solutions, they further motivate us to constantly provide leading edge and innovative approaches for the betterment of our industry. So to cap it all off, we at PCSS, we aim to provide value to both our clientele as well as in the construction industry. And yeah, we continuously strive to seek alternative methods to contribute better project outcomes. This is quite in parallel with our vision and mission. So we're confident that we will be hand in hand to achieve the milestones the country has for us, which is particularly towards Industrial Revolution 4.0 or IR 4.0 for short. So again, in a nutshell, these are our services that we provide. We provide services such as consultation, project management solutions, system integration, which includes BIM as well. BIM is building information modeling, for those of you who don't know. And we also provide training and also reality mapping in that context. So yeah, as to date, we have partnerships with several industry leaders in their respective fields, namely Oracle, Bentley Systems, Concord Academy, ARX Media, Plus3, as well as Exto. So be rest assured that the knowledge and support that we provide is not only from our experienced and knowledgeable personnel headquartered in Malaysia, but also from experienced professionals around the globe. Similarly, our services are also backed with accreditation from following bodies such as the PMI, Project Management Institute, the Sarawak Multimedia Authority, SMA, APTT, Synchro, CIDB Malaysia, IEM, as well as HRDF Corp. Similarly, if anything piqued your interest or you want to get to know more, don't hesitate to get in touch with us at sales@pcss.com.my. Or similarly, you can also follow our social media pages in LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube to keep updated on the latest offerings that we have. Okay, so now let's get back to the main event. So once again, I would like to thank everyone taking their time out of your busy schedule to attend today's webinar titled Navigating Mega Project Success, Project Management Best Practice. This webinar is supported by APTT and SMA. And for those of you who wanting to scan the MBOT CPD points, it will be shared at the end of the webinar, so please stick with us to the end. So as you can see, we have 4 speakers to talk on the best practices for project management today. So due to actually the vast content in project management, our speakers will be delivering subtopics of these project management best practices. So each speaker will present one topic and so on and so forth. Okay, so before we dive into the webinar, let me just give you the honors in presenting our distinguished and knowledgeable speakers for today. So our esteemed speakers for today are actually from the PCSS planning team, which are spearheading one of the biggest projects in Malaysia, which is the RTS Link project, which facilitates connection between Johor Bahru and Singapore. So I'm pretty sure that we can all gain very insightful knowledge and invaluable knowledge to be implemented in projects around the globe, as well as in Malaysia. Okay, so first, leading the charge is Puan Siti Noorahayu binti Abdul Hamid. She is the project/planning manager with about roughly 20 years of experience in the construction environment in infrastructure, high-rise building and track work system, out of which the 18 years she has the experience is mostly in the field of project planning. She holds a bachelor in civil engineering from the University of Technology, Malaysia Skudai, Johor. Next up, following her will be Puan Aniza Tukiran. She is a senior planner with 13 years of experience in construction environment. Her main responsibilities usually include project success through the integration and comprehensive planning, resource management, risk mitigation, stakeholder communication, quality control, as well as continuous improvement. She holds a bachelor in civil engineering from the University Technology Mara, or UITM for short. Next up, we have Muhammad Fahmi bin Muhammad Idris. He is a senior planner with 14 years of experience in oil and gas and construction industry. His main responsibilities include identifying all third-party constraints, design, procurement, and construction information into an integrated program. He holds a bachelor in construction management from the University Technology Mara. Okay, last but not least, we have Mr. Shazril bin Muhammad Hanifia. He is the assistant planning manager with roughly around 15 years of experience in the construction industry. His main responsibility includes orchestrating project plans, optimizing resource allocation, mitigating risks, fostering communications, ensuring quality control, and driving continuous improvement initiatives. He holds also a Bachelor of Science in Construction from the University of Technology in Asia. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into our webinar today. I would like to, again, thank you everyone for your patience, and I would like to pass the floor to Puan Siti Noorahayu binti Abdul Hamid to share her knowledge and expertise on project planning and control. So whenever you're ready, Puan Siti Noorahayu, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Zain. Hi, Assalamualaikum, and greetings to everyone. So I'm Ayu, and today my team and I will be sharing the topic based on our past experience and present methods of best practice in project control. So we are currently working on our assignment as a part of planning team for the RTS Link project in Johor Bahru, and it's currently ongoing. So we begin with the Sembang Santai with the title of the best practice in the project control. So as we all aware, the project control plays an important role in order to guarantee that projects are carried out successfully and efficiently. In order to stay on schedule with project plan and satisfy stakeholder expectations, it includes variety of procedures, action targeted and at the tracking, measuring, and controlling the project performance. So by developing or establish the baseline, which is covered all the scope of work, the schedule, the cost, quality, and other pertinent factors early in the project life cycle is the fundamental component of a project control. So by given what is known baseline actually as a standard by which to compare actual performance and to identify any deviations. Now we begin with the project management process. Okay, for the project management process, it consists of 6 main components, which is 1, monitoring progress, second one, managing changes, and third one, risk management, number 4, quality assurance and control, number 5 is the cost control, and then number 6 is the communication management. So regarding to the monitoring progress, this will involve comparing the project actual to its predetermined timeline and milestone. What we actually do is monitor the actual progress made against that actual progress. Okay. We can implement various techniques and tools to the progress and to spot for any deviation from the plan. Variety of instruments or methods can be employed. Frequently, the tools or technique that I have been practiced until to date are likely like a progress report, manage weekly and monthly progress meeting, and the earned value analysis. Okay, for the next key component, yeah, we go to the managing changes. So in order to ensure that change requests are in line with the project objective and do not have any negative effect on the project performance, it is very important to evaluate and manage them. Change is an unavoidable component of every project. Kat mana-mana project kita pergi pun mesti akan ada revise changes on the drawing based on kita punya current needed lah by the client. Okay, let me give some example. Let's we take the construction of new office building, which is because of the complexity of the construction process and the possible effect that changes may have on schedule, cost, safety. Managing changes in project of this nature is essential. So this is how the process of change management could go. So we have about I think 6 process of the change of management. First is change identification. Second one, change request. And third one, evaluation. And then we have to make the decision, number 4. And then we implement. And then the last one, we have to do the monitoring. So we go to the detail on the change identification. Let's say the client decide that they want to add floor to the office building during the construction in order to accommodate plans for future expansion. So during the routine progress meeting, the project team or the client will directly identify this change. So what we have to do is, guys, is the change request, second step. So normally the client will formally submit a change request to the project manager, and then outlining the need for an additional floor and providing specification such as size, layout, and any specific requirement. And then we go to the evaluation process, which is the construction team and the project manager will assess the change request and if necessary with external consultant. Their assessment will take into account various of aspects. It include how it will affect the project budget, the schedule, structural integrity, permit, and the local building codes. And then we will go to the decision. So the project manager will choose whether to accept, to deny, or to postpone the change request in light of the evaluation. So they will take it into the account to the limitations and viability of adding the extra floor within the current project scope. And then we will implement, which is implementation. Should the modification request be granted, the building crew will start putting the change into practice. So this time it could be required sourcing of extra materials, coordinating with the subcontractors, current contractors or hire the new subcontractors, modifying the construction schedule, obtaining the required permits, and revising architectural drawings. And then we will go to the monitoring process, which is during the implementation phase. The project manager and planner will keep a close eye and developments to make sure that the building of the extra floor will keep pace with the revised project plan. To minimize the interruption to the project overall schedule, they require to quickly resolve any issue or delays that happen in that time. And then we will go to the next process, which is documentation. So in order to reflect the approved changes, the project manager to update all project documentations, and then it's such as the contract, schedule, the budget, and plans. So to guarantee accountability and transparency, project manager and the management team need to keep detailed reports of every change made to the project scope. And then by managing changes in this manner, the construction project can be adapted to changing client needs while we maintaining quality, safety, and the regulatory compliance. So all in all, we need to focus on these three major elements for me, which is the major elements is the change identification. Second one, change of the assessment. And the third one is the change of the implementation. This change control process will ensuring that the project integrity will go smooth and succeed. Okay, next we go to number 3, key components, which is risk management. So why do we need the risk analysis? It's under the risk management. So it is to identifying, analyzing, and responding to risk, which is a fundamental aspect of project control. So for the project teams, we can create a proactive plans, which is and also the mitigation strategies, which is to address possible threats and opportunities by using risk management process to help to anticipate them. So based on a prior experience, the basic primary risk that I will consider when developing the baseline program in any project, first of all, I will analyzing the weather forecast for the entire year that the project is expected to be completed. And then the procurement process, which is start of our registering of the procurement until up to the long-term item delivery stage, and the ability of labor resources. So for this topic, later my colleague Shazril will provide a detailed overview under the subtitle of the risk management. Okay, we go to the component key component number 4, quality assurance and control. This is the QAQC. So the quality assurance and control is to ensure that the project deliverables meet quality standard, which is essential for achieving project success. Project control includes putting quality assurance process in a place to prevent any error or quality control technique to identify and address any deviation from the necessary standard. For example, in part of the QAQC department, we have numbers of checklists before construction or the pre-cons and initial of the project. This is like, as an example, the detailed scope of work, budget, schedule of project quality management plan, quality team project status meeting, arrange on the plan constructability review and report. And then during the construction, we will do some checklists on the project file and document management control plan, which is the plans, the specification, the transmittal, the RFI, the NCR, just to make sure the project will run smooth. And then after the construction, also we have after construction or the operation and maintenance phase. For example, the startup of the documentation and commissioning, compiling, and then the warranty documentation, maintenance plans and records, and the final documentation to close the report, and then the quality control process, the design summary, the evaluation process, inspection of summary, ongoing maintenance recommendation. Okay, we go to the cost control. For me, in construction, cost control refers to the method managers use to control labor, which is how they use the cost to control the labor, the material, and the overhead costs in order to keep project costs under control and project completion within the budget. Accurate estimation and ongoing oversight throughout a project are essential to a cost control. So a project that lacks cost control will rapidly exhaust its funding, given the construction company little to no profit or no profit at all. So we can see that the efficient cost control is necessary and for any construction company that wants to be successful. So the last one is the communication management. Even though I rank this crucial component last on the list, I believe that communication is the most important element for the overall key process in the project control. So please, everyone, do not work in silo. Please go speak with the project consultant, the construction team, and converse well about any concerns brought up during the construction. So for me, the good communication is necessary to make the project successful. So throughout the course of the project control involve retaining communication channels open, informing stakeholders of relevant information, and keeping project team informed and coordinated. Okay, in a summary, we can see that the project control assists in making sure that projects are finished within scope, schedule, and budget in a way to satisfy quality standards and stakeholder expectations by incorporating those components into the project management process. So it will give stakeholder and project managers the visibility and understanding that they need to make wise choice and successfully manage project risks and uncertainties. So in the end, project control is essential to advancing project success and providing business with value to the organizations. I think that's all from me. We can hand over back to our moderator, Susan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Puan Noorahayu, for sharing your expertise and knowledge in project controls.
Okay, thank you.
So I think for us to perhaps have a more better and rounded understanding, as well as to reinforce our knowledge or understanding on what you have shared just now, I would like to perhaps raise up a few Q&A or questions, and you proceed to answer them.
Okay.
So I think first, the first question that I have is, what are like some tools and techniques used in project control for monitoring progress? Because you always talk about monitoring progress and whatnot. So what are the tools, and more specifically, how do they contribute to assessing progress and identifying deviations from the plan? Because like we work in construction, it's a dynamic environment, so akan ada pertukaran lah. Time is a constraint, right? So how do we how do these tools contribute to mitigating these factors?
Okay, thank you, Zain. Generally, earned value analysis, status meeting, and progress report are the method and tools applied in project control to tracking the progress. So earned value analysis compares project performance to the budget and schedule in real time, assisting in the identification of any deviation from the plan. So dekat which is the project that we are handling right now, we are also using our Primavera as our software tools to tracking the progress, which is to monitor the plan progress against the actual progress. So other than that, we also have the progress report, which is this is by soft copy and hard copy that we submit bi-weekly and monthly to our client to make sure that our tracking is keep on update to the client. So we submit the progress report, which is it is to offer the quick overview of the project status. And also the status meeting, which is have been done by weekly and monthly, and if necessary, we will be called anytime to discuss on the progress or any issue that happen that affect on the progress tracking, which is maybe like delay or something, and then we will discuss and revise to mitigate dengan cepat lah untuk kita punya tracking to back on track.
I see.
Thank you.
Right, so thank you. I think from what I also can take is we don't only like provide, conventional methods such as documentation, which is the norm in construction, as well as, frequent meetings, but we also do like, we incorporate digital solutions such as Primavera to further facilitate our project controls, which is
Yeah.
a good implementation.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much again for your explanation. And I think I have another question as well. So why is it like effective? Why, sorry, not effective, but why is like effective change management important in project control? And what are the key processes involved in managing changes?
Okay, Zin. To make sure that the changes are in line with the project goals and have no negative impact on project performance, effective change management is very crucial to the project control. As I briefed throughout the topic just now, there is three key processes that involve in these managing changes, which is identification of changes, assessment to the ascertain their impact, and implementation as an additional to approve changes to the project schedule.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. I think it's quite self-explanatory because, the project is always changes. So, it's important to take into account these kind of factors.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I think that's all from me. Do you have any last things to add, Ms. Puan Noorahayu, before I proceed to the
no.
next?
Yeah, I think that's all from me. So I'm handling the next briefing from my team, Puan Aniza, to continue on the KPI. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Thank you once again.
Thanks.
Okay, so moving on to our next subtopic for today. This will be covering the project key performance indicators, or KPIs for short, and this will be Ms. Puan Aniza Tukiran will be sharing her expertise and knowledge on this. So whenever you're ready, Puan Aniza, please take it away. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Zin. Good evening and selamat hari everyone. My name is Aniza, and today I would like to share about key performance indicator, which also known as KPI. I believe everybody in this forum know what is KPI, right? Okay. What is actually KPI? KPI is actually an essential tool for measuring the success and performance of a project. And what is the objective of KPI? The objective of KPI are to evaluate the success of a project by using quantitative measurement, and it is important to track the relevant KPI throughout the project life cycle and to measure the progress and performance. There are some examples for project KPI, such as schedule adherence, budget variance, scope changes, quality metrics, stakeholder satisfaction, and risk exposure. I believe every project in Malaysia, they apply this KPI for their projects. KPI is actually good because it provides project managers and stakeholders with valuable insight into the health and progress of the project. Okay, how to implement KPI in the project? There are 6 steps in order to implement the KPI. The first one is identification of relevant KPI. The second one is SMART criteria. Third one is quantitative and qualitative metrics. The fourth one is baseline establishment. The fifth, regular monitoring and reporting. And the second step is continuous improvement. Okay, we go for identification of relevant KPIs. The first step in establishing KPI is identify the key areas that are critical to the success of the project. For example, let's say kita nak construct bangunan, kita perlukan substructure in order to kita proceed superstructure. So in this case, KPI for piling need to be identified first. This involve understanding the project objective, stakeholder expectation, and the factors that drive project performance. Okay. Relevant KPIs can be found with the use of strategies including stakeholder interviews, brainstorming meetings, and benchmarking against industry norms. Project managers should ensure the KPI are aligned with the project strategic goals and objectives. Okay, we go for the second step, which is SMART criteria. What is SMART? SMART, S is stand for specific, which is clearly defined what needs to be measured. M is stand for measurable, which is quantify the desired outcome. A stand for achievable, which is realistic and attainable with the project constraint. R stand for which align with the project objective and provide meaningful insight into project performance. And T stand for time bound, which have to define time frame for measurement and evaluation. Okay, the third step is quantitative and qualitative metrics. I believe everybody knows that KPI can be both quantitative and qualitative in nature. Quantitative metrics refer to numerical data like cost, schedule, quantity indicators that are easily measured and monitored. Qualitative metrics capture non-numeric aspect of performance, such as stakeholder satisfaction, team morale, and project risk. Qualitative data for KPIs can be gathered through methods like surveys, interviews, and observations. Okay, we go for the fourth step, which is baseline establishment. Establishing baseline values for KPI is essential for comparison and evaluation. I believe all planners should be familiar with this method. Baselines actually represent the initial performance or target that project aims to achieve. Technique such as historical data analysis, expert judgment, and industry benchmark can be used to establish baseline for KPIs. Basically, baseline provide a reference point for measuring progress and identifying deviation from the plan. Basically, the normal practice when we establish the baseline, we need to do the resources assignment into the activities, and it will generate the KPI value of the KPI curve. And depends what kind of interval that we need, such as daily, weekly, or monthly. Okay, after that, the fifth step is regular monitoring and reporting. After we get the KPI value or KPI curve, we need to monitor and report to the management. Okay. KPI should be monitored regularly throughout the project life cycle to track progress and identify any deviation from the plan. KPI monitoring can be made easier in real time with the use of reporting tools, dashboard, and project management software. And from this KPI value, we can monitor the progress either it is on plan or deviate from the plan. Then, as a planner, you may communicate effectively or highlight this achievement to your PM, project manager, or your management in meetings through progress report or performance dashboard. Regular reporting on KPI enables project stakeholders to stay informed about project performance and make data-driven decisions. Okay, then we go for the last step, which is continuous improvement. KPI should not be static, but evolve over time to reflect changing projects, priorities, and objectives. Continuous evaluation and refinement of KPI help ensure their relevance and effectiveness in measuring project success. One way to find areas that need improvement and modify KPI is to conduct performance review, feedback mechanism, and lesson learned session. By applying this technique, project managers can effectively leverage KPIs to monitor, measure, and optimize project performance, ultimately leading to the successful of project outcomes. So, based on 6 steps just now, I would like to summarize the function of project KPI. First, is to monitoring project performance. Okay, by establishing relevant KPI, it provides a structured framework for monitoring project progress across various aspects such as scope, schedule, budget, and quality. Regular monitoring KPI enables project managers to track progress against target and detect deviation early, and this actually helps for prompt corrective action to maintain project success. Second one is measuring progress and achievement. KPI offers quantifiable measure of project performance, facilitating objective assessment of progress and achievement. Comparison of actual performance with baselines and targets help in identifying areas of success and improvement, fostering transparency and confidence in the project management process. Okay, the third is optimizing project performance. Insight from KPI monitoring aid project managers in identifying opportunities to optimize performance by reallocating resources, adjusting schedules, mitigating risk, or implementing process improvement. Okay, the fourth function is achieving successful project outcomes. Effective use of KPIs empowers project managers to steer projects towards successful outcomes by proactively managing risks, seizing opportunities, and making informed decisions. Adherence to KPI-driven performance management practices facilitates confident navigating of project complexities, ultimately leading to successful project outcomes and value delivery to stakeholders. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for listening and have a good day.
Okay, so thank you very much, Puan Aniza, for sharing your knowledge on KPI in project management. So again, I would like to give like a few questions in order for us to, again, further understand and delve deep on the criteria that are prominent around the KPI, especially in project management. So the first question I have for you is, we often hear about KPIs, often not just in the construction industry, but also across other industries like the financial industry, or I don't know, like the services industry. KPIs are quite a norm or mainstay. It's being uttered around in industries for long time. So what are like the KPIs and why are they like so important in project management?
KPI basically very important lah untuk kita meet the deadline which set up by the client. Dengan KPI kita dapat tracking sama ada project kita tu on schedule, ahead or delay. Kalau delay, kita boleh take corrective action to meet back on track lah. And suppose we highlight to the management lah, so they can take the next step.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Aniza. I think from what I can see is KPI is like in a way to monitor the health of a project. One of the ways to monitor the health like an athlete, you have to consistently, I guess, day by day, see your progress, see where you are in order to achieve, your optimal output lah. Okay, so the next question I have is, you mentioned about SMART. So what are like the SMART criteria for establishing KPIs, and how do they contribute to effective project management?
This criteria help ensure that KPI are well defined, quantifiable, realistic, and aligned with project objective. And have a defined time frame for measurement. By meeting these SMART criteria, project team dia boleh track performance effectively lah. And like I said before, they boleh cari other alternative or corrective action which needed to stay on course lah.
I see. So basically quite dia more a very holistic approach lah, dari segi semua segi kan dia. See, so very thank you for your answer, Aniza. Appreciate your time in going to great lengths to further explain. Okay, so I guess that's the end for the subtopic, for the second subtopic for today. So next we will proceed on going to the next topic, which will be on the challenges and solution in project planning. This will be conducted by Mr. Muhammad Fahmi bin Muhammad Idris. So again, whenever you're ready, Mr. Fahmi, please take it away.
Okay, thank you, Zee. Okay, Assalamualaikum and Selamat Hari Raya to all. Okay, my name is Muhammad Fahmi, and today I'm going to present on a few common challenges that normally facing in the construction industry and how to tackle it. Okay, next slide. Okay, basically, first challenges is unclear objective, which is resulting from a lack of clarity on the project goals and objective. Okay, the construction sector tend to this issue because of a diverse workforce, which come from a range of background and talents. It is challenges to clearly define project scope, objective, and success criteria in the absence of clear objective. Thus, to mitigate this issue, effective communication is crucial for resolving this issue. Okay, for example, planner need to hold regular physical or virtual meeting with the entire construction team in order to discuss on the progress or any issue that related to site issue. Meeting like staff approach meeting, coordination meeting, weekly and daily construction meeting and progress meeting. And then if we want to communicate by email, we must keep all relevant members informed so that everyone is on the same page. Okay, on the STAR approach, basically this one stand for S situation, T for task, A for action, and R for result. Basically, this one is a very powerful approach that can gather all the member team to discuss in detail what we are going to do for next action. For example, like situation, design change on piling group, which is we need to extend the piling. So the task, we need to list all the item needs to be done, like a submission of the drawing or method statement for pile extension. And then for action, we put the focal person and the deadline so that we can monitor that situation in the correct deadline. And then the result is we need to capture on the status of the submission of the drawing and method statement. This one we also can use to apply for other activities. Okay, next slide is resource constraint. Okay, this is a common issue in all the construction project. Limited resource like budget, manpower, and equipment can pose significant challenges during project planning. Okay, in order to tackle this issue, planner can come up with a detailed work program, including resource allocation. By doing this, all parties or all project team will be aware on the resource allocation and resource constraint on site. On top of that, planner can provide look ahead program to the construction team for their daily monitoring. Inside look ahead program, planner can include together with the plan progress, daily plan for manpower and machinery, and list down all the critical activities. By doing this, the site team can closely monitor the site based on detailed work program approved by client. Next is interfacing of upper stakeholder management. Okay, this one. During a project development, it can be challenging to manage the demand and expectation from stakeholder. Stakeholder conflict of interest, a lack of communication, and resistance to change might affect the successful planning and implementation of a project. So in order to overcome or to mitigate this issue, project team need to establish strong and healthy channel of communication, provide regular updates, address concern promptly, and actively engage with upper management to ensure their involvement and support throughout the project life cycle. This alignment facilitates smoother project execution, minimize risks, and enhance overall project success. For example, planner can provide daily or weekly dashboard to upper team for their info and record, and the dashboard must be in comprehensive data and simplified so that they are easily to understand. Okay, next challenges is time management. Okay, time limitation are considered the biggest problem that lead to poor design, high accident rates, and financial damage. In order to tackle or reduce this issue, proper planning monitoring is required. So, as mentioned by Aniza, KPI is very useful tool that we can use to present site progress status. Planner can come up with a KPI monitoring sheet like X over Y progress for each element of construction activity. And last challenges is poor productivity. Okay, the construction industry has a variety of productivity challenges, including poor project management, shortage of experienced workers, material delivery delay, insufficient planning, and problem with stakeholder collaboration. So in order to tackle this issue, there are several tools that can be used to address the problem of productivity. First, improve planning and coordination. Second, investment in the training of trained labor force. Third, modification to the construction process, such as switching from traditional to prefab one. And last, by utilize real-time collaboration technologies like Power BI, TLOS, Microsoft Project, PC, or Synchro. This one very useful to capture all the progress on site, basically. So that's all from me, Zain.
All right, thank you, Fahmi, for sharing again. I think I like the final point because I think we're slowly starting to see the integration of digital tools with conventional methods. It kind of creates a hybrid on the old and the new. So that in a way does lead to better project outcomes.
Yeah.
And that's these tools are quite, from my personal perspective, is quite useful. So yeah, thank you for your explanation on the challenges and solutions that we often face in projects. Sorry. So again, I would like to go to the I'd like to ask a few questions just to raise awareness and also to have more complete understanding in what we might miss out or things that we might not see. Okay, so the
Alright.
first question that I would like to ask is, what are the common challenges in project planning, like related to project objectives, and how do they impact the planning process? Like again, I think I mentioned early on, it's construction is a very dynamic environment. It always changes from time to time. So what are the common challenges in project planning related to these project objectives from your personal experience?
Okay, basically, unclear project objective might impact overall planning process because it might delay our project, but it also can cause work sequence on site out of sequence, which is we cannot follow the schedule, but we just do what we want to do. If we implement good communication, we can overcome this issue. And then we will keep changing the completion date due to unrealistic planning. And then of course at the end the budget might be burst. For sure this one will be happen on site if we cannot control all the resource on site.
I see. So I guess, the key takeaway that I can get from that is mostly, I think monitoring is quite a, critical aspect in that sense in order to mitigate these challenges. Okay, thank you for your answer. So for the next question that I would like to ask is, how does, effective communication contribute to addressing challenges in project planning? Because I think like in construction industry, we're always involved with lots of stakeholders from different backgrounds, different cultures. How do we like streamline that into delivering what and convey our information more, I guess, concisely? And yeah, how do we communicate more effectively, and what strategies are usually used in ensuring clear communication between stakeholders?
Okay, but of course, construction industry is come from a range of background and talents. So that's why we need a good communication among construction team. This may lead to a good progress on site and can prevent from any budget overrun on site. Okay, there are few actions that we can implement in order to maintain a good communication skill among team member. First, we need to establish clear channel among stakeholder, and then we need to actively listening among team members, and then we need to use visual of aids for more understanding, like KPI, and then we use other tool that Power BI, Synchro. That one is very useful, and then we need to do a regular updates on progress, project progress, so that we know what current status now. And then feedback mechanism. This one is very, very important because all party need to allow stakeholder to provide input, like engineer, QC, planner. In fact, DC also can provide the input on the submission status. This is very, very important, and they can raise concern throughout planning process. Okay, and then by implementing this strategy, project team can overcome challenges more effectively and increase the chances of successful project planning and execution. That's all, Zin.
All right, thank you, Fahmi, for your clear and well thought out answer. I think what intrigued me most, or the key point that I took away also, is perhaps on like feedback mechanisms. I think that's important because also for me personally, like, if we communicate better and we know what we want and the other party knows what they want, this can avoid like, additional work on the other party, which might, be detrimental to the, I don't know, like the welfare of the stakeholders involved.
Yeah,
So this, in some ways I guess the expectations are more, everyone is aware of where they are and whatnot. So this is quite a, important criteria that I took away from your answer.
Yeah, Thank you.
Okay, so thank you again, Fahmi, for your presentation slide as well as elaborating on your answer.
Okay, thank
So
you.
next, we would like to go to the final subtopic that we have for today, which is the risk management in project planning. This will be delivered and conducted by Mr. Shazril bin Muhammad Hanifia. So, Mr. Shazril, whenever you're ready, I'm pretty sure we're all excited to hear how we can manage risk in project planning. So, yeah, whenever you're ready, you can just take it away.
Okay, thank you, Din. Assalamualaikum and very good evening and selamat hari raya to all. The next topic is risk management in project planning. We'll be discussing in this forum. Basically, first we need to know what is risk, the definition of the of risk. Risk is the possibility of something happening that will have an impact on the achievement of the project objective. So there are several types of risk, which is project risk and external risk and also internal risk. So mainly we will be focusing on construction industry, which is the common risk is schedule risk, cost risk, quality risk, and safety risk, and also legal and regulatory risk. So, risk management in project planning. Can you next slide, please? Okay, risk management in project planning. Basically, there are several numbers of key component in the risk management in project planning. The first one is risk identification. Second one is risk assessment, risk response planning, and also risk monitoring and control. So this part of risk management is very crucial also in planning phase, because I think throughout our experience when we do the baseline program, yeah, we always calculate or schedule or plan our activity based on productivity and machineries, resources, but we never consider on the risk. We only consider on the constraint side, but this I think most of us terlepas pandang to look at the risk of each activity or each project lah. So basically, when we do this risk management by the project team and also the risk manager or risk department, we at current project we are attending also. We join the risk workshop to get the info and input for our planning based on the risk that has been registered inside the risk register. So there are 4 steps that I have mentioned to do this risk management, which is the first one is risk identification. Okay, so this the first step we need we need to identify the risk that may happen or may occur during our construction phase. So there are several steps or method to get the info risk identification, such as number one is stakeholder input. The stakeholder inclusive of client, project team, and external stakeholders. So basically, on the client side, we need to consider on the project objective, what is the client expectation or their concern on the project. Project team also can give input to get together the risk register. I think risk register. So what is the risk for the project? External stakeholders like authorities and publics and also other stakeholders lah. Number two is the next method is documentation review, which is we can review the project spec and review also the document from past project, previous project, and also we can review the regulatory requirement, such as what is the DOE or DOS requirement of the project. Number three method is site assessment. Site assessment, we can assess, initial assess, we can assess the site condition, such as the topographical site, soil condition, environment, and assess. Also, we can assess in the project, like we got utility, existing utility, because we need to know what is the challenges with utility location if the utility need to be relocated. And then also we can assess the environment factor, such as if the area is a flood zone, if the area is near or at the protected habitat like hutan simpan or forest reserve. And the most common method that's been used is risk workshop and brainstorming. So this risk workshop, mostly all the parties and stakeholders will be joined to gather all info or share their input to get the risk identification. So we discuss this risk, we list the risk and put in the checklist. And also the risk can be categorized as we want, or maybe the best practice is categorized such as design risk, construction risk, procurement risk, or etc. So after all these risks been identified, these risks need to be registered in one document. So maybe we can go to the next slide, is risk assessment and analysis. So after we gather all the input from all teams or team members, we need to assess this risk and analyze this risk also. So basically there are two methods to analyze this risk, which is qualitative assessment and quantitative assessment. Basically, these two methods to measure the likelihood of the risk and also what is the impact to the risk, impact of the risk to the project. So basically, mostly we use brainstorming session to discuss on what is the impact of the risk that have been gathered or been registered, and what is the what we call mitigation measure to be taken. And also based on this method, we can give each risk that identified on the risk scoring. Basically, mostly we use the risk metric. We can consider it, we can classify it as a low or medium or high risk on each activity. So the last one, after we do the risk assessment, risk scoring, all this also need to be documented. So we as a planner in project, we can refer also this document, what is this risk register, risk assessment, to plan our project, to make the baseline program more efficiently and smoother construction phase. Okay, third step after we analyze and assess the risk, we need to do the risk response plan. So risk response planning involves developing strategies to address the identified risks in order to minimize their impact or likelihood of occurrence. So basically, in the construction industry, risks are inherent. Having effective risk response plan is crucial for project success. There are several steps in risk response planning, or maybe a method how to respond to the risk. The number one is risk avoidance. We avoid the risk. Basically, the risk avoidance means that we eliminate the risk entirely by avoiding the activity or condition that give rise to it. Example, the common example I think we can say that due to the adverse weather on particular season, the project schedule may be adjusted to avoid during that period. Okay, based on my experience when I was doing project in Terengganu, their season, monsoon season there. So we discussed with our client and our project manager, project teams, that this season, that period of monsoon season, we put the non-working days there for 2 weeks. I think in December, the month of December. So basically, we put there, we avoid that any construction activity during that period. So maybe we plan to do early, or we plan to do after the monsoon season. But if the monsoon season doesn't happen, it can be our extra advantage or float. We can do the activity during that period. Because currently the weather or the season in Malaysia now tak sama macam dulu. And then number two, the method is a risk mitigation. We mitigate the risk to reduce the likelihood or impact of the risk. This one we not eliminate the risk, we only mitigate to reduce the likelihood of the risk to happen and the impact of the risk. Example, I think we can say that shortage of material. This one also, I think every site and project, I think face these issues also lah, always. But I think the mitigation we can do is we set a particular supplier and also the delivery system we should improvise. We maintain a buffer stock in our storage. This one is part of how to mitigate the risk. So maybe the number three is risk transfer. This risk transfer mean that we transfer the risk to third party such as insurance. There are some risk to property damage beside our site, and also that property damage risk, we can transfer that risk to our insurance. Number three is risk acceptance. This risk acceptance is we accept the risk, maybe because that risk is we cannot avoid, but we try to do mitigation if the risk happen. So sometimes that when the risk mitigation, when mitigation of the risk, the cost is higher than the cost is higher than the potential impact. Maybe project team or management decided to put more fund or to allocate the fund at during the to cover the impact. So after we do risk response planning, this response planning and also risk assessment, this is all this input during the risk workshop or risk brainstorming. We can consider it or we can incorporate it in our baseline program. Maybe our program become more relevant, more efficient, and also we can monitor during the construction phase more efficiently. So the fourth step, the last step, is risk monitoring and control. Okay, this risk monitoring and control essential aspect of risk management in construction industry, which is to identify the risks managed effectively. Mostly this part is during construction phase, during the risk, the construction phase, we monitor if the risk is happen or not, what is the impact if it happened. So how risk monitoring control are typically carried out? Number one is regular risk review. We review the risk register that have been done. We updated it based on current situation at site. And also this one, what is the response or mitigation had been taken. And we monitor what is the factors after we mitigate the activity. The number two is performance metrics and indicator. As mentioned by my colleague, KPI also related to risk management, such as numbers of activities, identify risk exposure, and also the effectiveness of risk response. So we monitor the KPI to assess the performance of risk activity, identify areas for improvement. Number three is risk response, risk status report. So generate the risk report, the risk status report to communicate the current status of the risk to stakeholders. We include the information like risk trend, emerging risk, and also new risk to new involving risk, the effectiveness of the risk response, and what is the result of the mitigation response in this report. Number four is risk response implementation. This to ensure plan risk response are implemented effectively and efficiently. We monitor the progress of the risk response, address any delay or issue promptly. Next is the scheduled cost control. Like I said before, this risk management is crucial during the planning phase also. So basically, if the risks have any impact to our schedule, we need to mitigate or mitigate, and also we need to discuss with our project team and stakeholders how to mitigate, how to catch up the delay, and also maybe it costs cost overrun, how to mitigate or how to control the cost of the burst of the cost burst. So next. Okay, the last one is monitoring and controlling effectively. This can make our project this project can minimize the likelihood and impact of the event to happen, which is the risk to happen. It also can improve our project outcome. We can improve the our stakeholder confidence. So basically, this part of method we do is one is to get to achieve our project objective. So the next is as a conclusion or summary. In conclusion, risk management during the planning phase of the process project is vital to step for setting up a solid foundation and ensuring the project success. The key point that I have mentioned before is number one is risk identification. This one, the risk identification need to be comprehensive throughout through the stakeholder input, documentation review, site assessment, and also workshop. Number two is the risk assessment. The assessment need to be done regularly and also get input from expert. Number three is risk prioritization. Once the risk is identified and assessed, we can prioritize the risk, which is we anticipate and address the potential challenge throughout the construction phase. Number two is measuring better control over cost schedule. Okay, this management can make our project better control over cost and schedule. Like I said, that risk management also is very vital during our program, our baseline program preparation. We can control on the cost and schedule. Number three, next. Basically, this risk management in planning phase project planning is ultimately for better project outcome. Okay, I think that's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shazril, for sharing the variety of risks that are usually involved in project management solutions. I think, since there are so many, sometimes we don't, like you said, we often overlook, different aspects. So it's important to, I guess, even taking in from previous slides, it's important to have communication and have a more streamlined and more, I say dynamic, but more cohesive discussion between stakeholders to mitigate all these risks. Okay, so before we end our webinar today, I would like to, again pose a few questions on the risk topic that was delivered by Mr. Shazril. So the first question I have for you is what are the key steps involved in the risk management process, and why is it considered crucial in project planning?
Okay, as I said before or presented before, the step involved in risk management process is we identify the risk, we assess the risk and prioritize the risk, we respond the risk, and also we monitor and control. So basically, we identify the risk. As mentioned before, during my experience in Terengganu project, we have the monsoon season there, which is basically we can say that in December or November every year, every day raining. So we managed to discuss or justify with our client to make this non-activity non-working days or no activity during that period. Basically, sometimes this during this period, it's not only the we call it can cause our delay in the project, but it also cause the quality also in the quality of the structure of our project if we do the project during the bad weather. Sometimes flooded area also can jeopardize or damage our project. So basically, this thing is crucial inside our planning. We managed to put inside the program, but we justify that during that period. We cover it before the season came, or after that, we put more resources inside our plan to catch up what we don't what you call that period that we don't have any work, which is during the monsoon season. So basically, all this risk management process that have been done, we put inside our program for better result and efficient. But if the season doesn't happen, or if the risk that is not happen, you can add that as our advantage and float, so we can use that as effectively and efficiently to catch up and maybe ahead of our program also.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shazril, for going out of your way and explaining into great details. I think we're all aware that it's already we're slightly overrun on time. So maybe perhaps for this second question, just perhaps keep it a bit brief. So for the second question, I would like to ask you is like usually what techniques are commonly used for identifying risks in a project, and why is like the input from a multitude of different people like the project team members, stakeholders, and subject matter experts encouraged during this process of identifying risks?
Okay, so identifying the risk most commonly used is brainstorming and risk workshop. Like current project that I here now is we use brainstorming and risk workshop. This frequently can be done weekly or monthly or what you call 3 months for 3 months. So this risk workshop and brainstorming need to be all parties there together with clients, project team, and also our subcontractor also. And if possible, our third party such as our consultant and also what I call DOE or DOS is possible. We can make this risk workshop and gather the risk more effectively and more efficiently.
All right, thank you, Shazril, for the explanation. I think with synonymous with BIM as well, I'm implementing BIM, so it's important to have all stakeholders at the start and not perform, but have a more detailed discussion at early stages of the project to ensure better project outcomes in the long run.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we've reached the end of our webinar. Again, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time and again for your patience. I am aware that we have an open Q&A session, but however, we have run out of our allotted time, which is supposed to end at 4:30. But I think also one perhaps I can just skim through one question, since I'm personally doing BIM and how Synchro 4D, how it does real-time collaborations is usually with Synchro, we have a control CDE. We can upload the model to a cloud, and then we can have multiple users work on the model itself. So that in a way answers your question. However, if it doesn't, let's say, because it's a dynamic change, right? The project changes, so the construction sequence changes as well. So let's say if the work program changes, then we can put the work program directly into the Synchro software. And also, since the work program is already assigned to the model, so this will have it changes quite intuitively to the work program, the model, and the construction process. So with that, there are many pros that we can take from that. Like also we can identify potential clashes due to this change in activities or logistics and how to install, since we can, it's more visualized in a sense. And also, I guess with a more visualized process, the activities, that since we change it quite often, activities might overlap each other, or we can see, let's say, the same activity is being done at the same area. So we can further mitigate and see these issues with the help of visualization process, which is quite fundamental to BIM. That's what one of the key elements BIM provides in project management solutions. And yeah, with this, it encompasses not only like how constraints that contribute to the cost and project outcome, but also encompasses safety, because, two people or, an equipment can't work at the same place if there's another activity going on. So this is one of the ways that we identify these kind of things. So, okay, I think we've reached the end. I understand there's a few questions that are in the chat box. Don't worry, because our team will get back to you via the email that you have sent or used during the registration. So don't worry about it. So yeah, again, thank you for your time. Before we end, I would like everyone to switch open their cameras. I know it's Friday, and also Raya is, Raya kan sebulan. So I want everyone to put their jolly Raya faces. Oh, give me a second, I'll unshare my screen for a while. Okay. So whenever everyone's ready, in 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, perhaps one more, just a freestyle. So in the count of 3, 3, 2, 1, and freestyle. Okay. So once again, thank you to everyone for taking out of your busy schedule, and also thank you for your patience. I know we have run a bit out of the allotted time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
So,
Zain.
yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Before we end, I would also like to just give for those of you who are interested in our services, this is our, oh, sorry, let me just share my screen first.
Nampak aja.
Okay. Okay, so before I end, if anyone who's interested in our services, or if you want to see a free demo, don't hesitate to contact us at sales@pcss.com.my, or alternatively, you can just give us a call at the numbers below here. Also visit our website. We have all our details, company details pertaining to our numbers on the site as well. So yeah, I can't wait to hear from you. So yeah, the moment that you guys been waiting for, this is the link for the attendance code. So on behalf of PCSS, once again, thank you for your time. Thank you for the speakers. I'm sure everyone has gained valuable insights and knowledge in project management and how to further best implement these solutions in whatever project that is, you're undertaking. So on behalf of PCSS and personally for myself, thank you once again, and have a good day and a good weekend ahead of you. Assalamualaikum and goodbye.
Salam.
Bye. Thank you.
I think it's only right that Sarawak must have this archive. Very, very important because we have a long history.
The purpose of the archive is the conservation of documents for future information, not just for now.
The Right Honorable Chief Minister of Sarawak, accompanied by Chairman of Pustaka Negeri Sarawak, for a virtual tour on stage.
So this archive, they can also work with the museum. The architecture of this building is friendly to environment. People say the present is determined by the past and the future will be determined by the present. I think it's
Managing the RTS Johor project presented several challenges, including cross-border coordination, tight timelines, unforeseen site conditions, and language barriers. We use 4D BIM for real-time visualization and decision-making, which help us adapt to the unforeseen site conditions. Additionally, we established a communication framework that transcended language barriers, ensuring seamless collaborations. For our construction management, expertise allowed us to create comprehensive project plans, manage resources efficiently, and implement risk mitigation strategies. So this expertise ensured that we could adapt to changing circumstances and keep the project on track. The collaboration was essential. We maintained open channels of communication, engaged in regular meetings, and formed strong partnerships with subcontractors and local authorities. This collaboration ensured that everyone was aligned and working towards project success. These practices are closely related to the use of the digital tools and a centralized platform like CDE, which facilitate efficient data sharing, real-time updates, and alignment among project stakeholders. Ultimately, this collaborative approach ensures that everyone involved is working towards the common goal of a project success while leveraging the advantage of digital construction technology.
Hi, my name is Mohammad Nizam Ibrahim. I'm a BIM coordinator at PCSS Consultancy Sembang.
Okay, all right.